We are still in the learn to learn phases, and I am teaching this CSE 456 code to our student in the NIT Bhopal from last 3 years, and more than 200 students are registered in this semester also. So I will brief about what is the ethical hacking. Ethical hacking, when someone modify your computer or hardware in such a way that change the intent of a originator. Say example, if particular device is built for doing some task, if it will deviate from their task, then it comes under the hacking. So I will brief about my lecture. So I will demonstrate so many generally the vulnerabilities through which the ethical hacking is possible. And ethical hackers are the good guys like you. They are the professional from computer science and IT background. And using their knowledge and skill, they attack the system with the permission of owner and hack your system. So this topic will cover what is ethical hacking, what are the basic difference between hardware hacking and the software hacking, and what are the weaknesses in the system that might be exploited by the attacker to launch the attack. Then I will demonstrate some of the attack and how the ethical hacker works, what are the steps for ethical hackers. And knowledge play a very vital role. More knowledge and more information, more effective investigation. More information, more serious attack. So how the information are retrieved, that is called the footprinting. So we shall visualization in ethical hacking. How you will use it for the ethical hacking will be used for in the legal purpose without disturbing and without violating the laws, and what the particular skills are required. So this is the combination of this knowledge and some practical hands-on that I will try to demonstrate within a limited time. So I will share my screen first. My screen is visible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We shall discuss what is the hacking. So hacking is generally the way when someone change your hardware and software. Now these days we have the networking, we have IoT devices. So it is not only possible with the use of physically accessing your system and asking for login password. Sometime it may possible they will send you the malware, they will send you the link, and when you click onto the link, some settings are changed. Or so hacking means modify or alter the original intent of a particular developer, software developer or the hardware developer. If this is carried out for the good intention means it is carried out by the professional, and they find and they mimic the scenario and launch the attack, and through attack they will tell what are the weakness in your system. That is called ethical hacking. So first we shall talk about what are the ethical hackers, what is hacking, then we concentrate onto the ethical hacking. So ethical hacking is the penetration or attacking the system with the good intention or mimicking the things or recreate the scenarios for just to understand what are the lacuna, what are the weakness that causes the vulnerabilities, and what are the vulnerabilities and how these vulnerabilities are exploited into the system. So we shall talk about this ethical hacking. So, and we shall cover the 2 or 3 concepts. One is secure coding for professionals, in which some code hacking we shall discuss. Some networking hacking we shall discuss. Okay, so I will start my topic. So I have already told you that when someone modify your computer and hardware and software in a way that will change the intent of originator. And the person who are involved in these activities, who use the computer, who use the network, are called the ethical hackers. Just a minute. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
In a modern science, computer hacking means gaining unauthorized access to the computer, consume the resources. Okay, parallel processing we use for the effective utilization. If attacker will execute this parallel process and consume a lot of bandwidth or processing power, then it also come under the hacking. Okay. So first I will brief you about the basic concept, then we will move to the advanced one and someone. And the person or who involved is called the hacker. So what hacker does? Hacker will enter into your computer system and exploiting the security vulnerabilities. So various type of vulnerabilities or weakness are there in your system, like your memory vulnerabilities, your buffer area of your stack which contain the return address that may be exploited. So instead of returning to its particular proper position in the program will be moved to some other direction. Poor configuration of web server disclosing their technologies, terminologies, and attacker system. Some firewalls are there, AI-based firewalls are there, some captchas are there. So they from the remote location. The locations. Yes. Hello. So hacker generally modify your computer resource pools and setting up with the consent, and generally that will cause the damage or disturb a computer system or the network. So first I will show you one of the example of ethical hacking. मैडम काफी लोगों ने ज्वाइन कर लिया है क्या अभी?
जी सर। अच्छा, हाँ 60+ हैं अभी।
ठीक है, ठीक है। So now I will demonstrate one of the attack to you, and then we will discuss some of the concept, and one by one we can use this concept and just show how the ethical hacking is performed. Okay. So say example, I will talk about the SQL injection vulnerabilities. Okay. So I think some of you are aware about what actually the SQL injection vulnerabilities are. So I will just show you how it is possible. Okay. So 1 equal to 1. So this will enter here, and that value will be passed here, 17 or 1 equal to 1. So what happened here in the normal scenario, when you talk, this particular 200 value will be passed and record 200 will be fetched. Here we know that 17 is even not available in your system, but 1 equal to 1 is always be true, and that is concatenated with the OR condition. In the particular the conditional, if one condition is true, then that will make your whole statement true. So SQL injection vulnerability is where attacker is put some values which are not available in your system and put 1 equal to 1 here, and then 1 equal to 1 is always be true with the OR condition that will make your whole statement true, and entire records or all the records which are available in your system will be extracted. So this is the one weakness. So if 90% of user write this logic, okay, do not take care of this particular filtration. If attacker is used to this, so he will scrutinize your code and find what are the weakness in your system. Okay, so he will just inform that these are the weakness in your system by checking your website. So now I will demonstrate this attack to you. So what ethical hacker does? Hacker will use this and attack your system. So here, so we have developed one lab. In this, we have more than 200 strings are there. They are called the vulnerable string. So that is a normal scenario. Here I will put 200 and record our fetch. That is a normal scenario. And what the attacker does, he will inject some code like 17 or 1 equal to 1. This is the code. And 1 equal to 1 is always be true, or A equal to A is always be true, and that will fetch your data. So data are fetched and all the 5 records are used. So this is a tricky way of injecting the, so this is the vulnerabilities. If attacker use and exploit and fetch all the records, then it is called the hacking. If security experts hack your system and say that this particular problem is there, your website is vulnerable, it is accepting this particular vulnerabilities code of SQL injection, your website is not up to the mark, not is safe, so this is called ethical hacking. So I hope, is it clear what is ethical hacking? Ethical hacking is a way of finding the weakness or vulnerabilities into the system and inform the owner that these are the problem with your system. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So now we shall discuss some more issues which are related to ethical hacking. First is the hackers. So hackers we have discussed. So ethical hackers in a computer network, they mimic, recreate the scene, or who attack a security system on behalf of its owner with the permission of owner and find the weakness, what are the weakness in their system. So now these days, the research scholars or computer science engineers or software developer, so these are some work as a hackers, and they do it like an art and form. And they it also give the opportunity to use or show their strength, their problem solving skill, or chance to show their abilities. And most of the companies and the law enforcement agencies recruit their hackers or ethical hacker as a consultant for their agencies. So ethical hackers are the good guys. They attack the system with the permission of owner. Okay. So various competitions are also going on in which the problem was given and the top hackers of a country are ranked accordingly. Here we talk about there is a type of category of the hackers. So first type of hackers are the white hackers. So we are talking about in this lecture is about white hackers. White hackers are the good persons. So they are the persons who attack the system with their permission. So white hackers, when we talk about the white hacker, they are also called ethical hackers or good hackers. So they are the all the hackers are the antithesis of black hats. So they exploit computer system or your network to identify their security flaws. So they can make recommendation for the improvement. So these are the problem, and these are the some after the hacking, these are the some lacuna in your system, and you will improve it. When you talk about the black hackers, so black hackers are the persons. So they are the criminals. Generally, they are the bad guys whose intention are very bad, who break into your computer network and with the malicious intention. Sometimes they destroy your files, hold your computer for hostage, like e-kidnapping, steal the password, steal your sensitive information, personal or credit card information, or sometimes they release your malware and that will affect your system. And gray hackers are the ambiguous between these two. So gray hat hacker may sometimes violate law or usually ethical standards, but they do not have the malicious intent typical of a black hat hacker. So they are not aware about, because each country has their law, what is allowed, what is not allowed. So they exploit the system. So now we talk about the hardware hacking and the software hacking. Hardware hacking, very simple example, your display is changed, your screen rotations is changed. So irritate the users. Okay. Sometimes your cameras are disabled. Now these days IP cameras used. So what the attacker does, from the remote location, they can change it. Bluetooth technology, now the medical devices are based on Bluetooth. So they consume the more power because Bluetooth devices having their limited power. And software hacking, where the code are changed, memory locations are changed, networking, DNS settings are changed. We shall discuss one by one. So hardware hacking means modify the piece of software. So sometimes make your device wireless so they can access from the remote location. What the displays are changed. In the old time that we have the particular TV and we tune the TV at a particular channel, it will only accept the one channel, like a sports channel. So other channels are not available for a family. So when now these days, especially the devices which are imported from China or some other country which are not standards, so they are not satisfy the particular testing. So key logging are, so they have the ability to record the keystroke. So in the BIOS also there, what you are typing, all the activities are recorded into your system. So that can be implemented at the firmware. Alternatively, your devices are plugged. Now these days, these devices are available. So what happened in a public, if they want to record, they will put this dongle behind it and then attach your keyboard to this one. So what you are typing will be stored into this one. That is called the keylogger. So all your activities are recorded, what you are typing, what you are viewing, what you are playing in the video, what website you are surfing, their date and time. So these activities are recorded through this hardware hacking. And could you tell me the recording the activities are illegal or illegal? Anybody from you?
Participants, please answer.
Recording the activities is ethical hacking or legal or illegal?
Illegal.
Illegal.
It's illegal.
Illegal.
That depends on the use and purpose. Say
It's
example,
illegal.
in the internet, and privacy and security are orthogonal. When you increase the security, privacy will decrease. Suppose a mother want to discuss the mental problem of her child on internet in public domain with some expert, and she don't want to disclose her identity. That is legal or illegal?
It's legal, sir.
That's legal. You a student are working in the laboratory and you want to know whether they are surfing the website or doing their C programming. That is legal or illegal?
It's legal.
It's legal.
Legal.
Legal. And say example, your employer want to know what their employee are doing in their office. That is legal. But illegal if somebody you put it and take your personal records, your credit card number, your OTP, your what you are typing. So that is called illegal. So that depends on the use. I saw that there is a separate particular class for the laws are there. So I'm not covering, but I will brief you about the laws related to ethical hacking. And now these days, some other hardware hacking are the patching into iOS. So what happened? They put a button, and that button will be change your circuit. And a very simple example for connected your wireless directly to the button pad. So the functionality will be changed. Other type of hardware hacking where some circuits are inbuilt and they can gather the information from here. Okay. Then other is replacing a component that is called the circuit bending. Now these days in a bike, different things are there. Chargers are there put it. In the old your music system, they put your facility of USB drive are there. So some components are changed. So the user want to device to sound different. So he or she replace a component, and that is also some additional component are added, and this component may be involved in the surveillance. Logical analyzer. So now these days the logical analyzer are there, so they can gather a lot of private data with the use of simple logic analyzer. Okay. So interesting chip or test point on a circuit board connected to the logical analyzer, and then they can analyze it. Now we have the Bluetooth devices. Now these days, Bluetooth devices are commonly used in your house, in your medical, in your particular, say, the offices. So they have a very limited consumption power, limited bandwidth, limited memory, limited processing. So it is a protocol designed for connecting small IoT devices. Okay. So what here they can do, they can put it in some tools and gathering the information, or sometimes it is possible that algorithm may be manipulated, so they consume and system may be not properly respond. That is the attack on denial of service attack. When you talk about the hardware and software hacking is very easy because their manuals are available, their videos are available. Now these days, most of the problem we can find it solution onto the system. Okay. So through this, hardware hacking is much easier as compared to the software hacking. In the software hacking, the codes is required, understanding of code is required, and further that some of the application which are the generic, which are the license, so we do not have the code for that. So when you buy a piece of hardware, let's say toaster, TV, fridge, their manuals are available. Or some now these days their YouTube videos are available. Okay, so you go there and check it. But when you buy a piece of commercial software like Windows or some other software, so their behavior is fixed. Generally, so open source software is the exception, but most of the softwares are there, their codes are not available. So you are shared with the executable file only, and no source code are available to you. So its behavior is fixed, okay, to which the original programmer intended. You cannot change it. So software hacking is a little bit different as compared to hardware hacking. So because software's codes, manuals and internal manuals are sometimes not available to you, only the APIs are there, and you can exploit your system with only API systems. Okay. Now we should discuss the concept of vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are weakness or flaws through which your systems are hacked. One example is poor writing of code. I have already shown to you that this is the one way. Another way is there that particular systems are hacked is called the cross-site. cross-site scripting vulnerability. Please mute your mic. I am getting disturbance at my end. It is requested to mute your mic. Okay. Now I will give you the database vulnerabilities which are more serious. What happened in this case? The database needs a special permission when you attack your system. Okay. So in the web applications, these vulnerabilities or weaknesses are available where the special permission are available and through which the database are attacked. But here we are talking about the cross-site scripting attack. This type of vulnerabilities are executed at the browser side. So no special vulnerability, no special permissions are required at the client side. So that is called the code injection vulnerabilities. I will show you how is it possible. For example, we are here and we type here script hello. So here you will find out that is start of a script, that is end of a script, and here we have alert hello. So when first the attacker injects this code and find whether your system is weak or not. So it is weak means your, sorry. Here he will type this hello, and when he press, say example, your system is asking for entering a PNR number, and instead of entering the PNR number, what the attacker does, attacker will inject some code onto that, and this code may be exploited by the system. So when he entered and he find out, that means here it is saying that hello means the website that you are accessing is vulnerable. So first what attacker does, attacker will find whether website is vulnerable or not. First he will check it. Then more attack like go to statement of C language. We have here script document.location means the website will be redirected to some other location. So then when you put it, you will find out there is cross-site scripting attack and website will be redirected to some other location that is called the hacking zone. So this is the way through which the attacker launch the attack and change your setting. So now I will demonstrate some of the attacks which are not possible online because I will, once I close the browser, your system will also, your Zoom platform that we are using will also be closed. So I will demonstrate some of the attack with my videos later. So that will not affect the normal working of our class. Okay. So we shall discuss. Then before that, I will discuss some of the attack which are there. First, we discuss what are the defense for SQL injection. Defense for SQL injection, there are the two codes which are given in your box. This is a vulnerable code of SQL injection. What happened? The attacker is injecting this code and this code is directly passed here. Here, this is a safe code. Why it is called the safe code? Because here you will find out two things are there, string splash and this. This is the handle the SQL injection entry or entries are handled. So if somebody is trying to inject some SQL injection, these two statements will take care of that. So if you are retrieving the database, you have first thought about that how to handle SQL injection is PHP, how to handle SQL injection is in GSP, how to handle SQL injection in .NET, and use this solutions because there is some security standards which are provided by the security consortium. So we have to follow this and use it. Sunita madam, hello.
जी
मैडम रिकॉर्डिंग 2 मिनट बंद करेंगे एक मैं
जी मैं बंद कर रही हूँ
बैंड आप रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू कर दीजिए आप ये ऊपर का बैंड आपको दिख रहा है क्या नहीं दिख रहा टॉप बैंड
No, sir.
ठीक है ओके इट्स ऑलराइट
No, sir.
Shall we discuss the one of the another important way of exploiting the vulnerability is code injection attack. In the code injection attack, the malicious user enter the code into the web application. The code may be entered from the available text box of a form, or it may be entered through the address bar of URL, which is called the query string. And these entered code in the text form may be passed through the HTTP header, get and post method and perform some suspicious activity onto the browser, web server or to the databases. So the code injection attack is carried out by suspicious user via entering the vulnerable code into the input control of web form or address bar of a web browser. Generally, the common type of web application vulnerabilities, generally the reason is that because it may occur due to the improper handling of user input. So user input which are entering are not properly handled, not properly sanitized, and may affect the working of the system. So generally, the code injection attack are categorized into three types. Cross-site scripting attack, in which the JavaScript is entered. It is also called the XSS attack. And this script is executed by the web browser. PHP code injection attack in the Apache web server environment. In the other environment, they are also called GSP code injection or ASP.NET injection in Microsoft IIS web server is used, where they affect the application server. Some code are added, the shell will be executed, some inbuilt commands are used to exploit the vulnerabilities. The third type is SQL injection, which is basically an attack onto the databases which need special privileges, and through this attacker manipulate the data, enter the data, damage the data, retrieve some information for which the particular person is not authorized. So we will discuss all these in detail. So cross-site scripting attack, first we discuss the attack on the browser. So it enables attacker to inject client-side script, which is a JavaScript, into the web pages viewed by other users. So attacker inject malicious code into a running process, and that further redirected to the web control to his pages that for conducting illegal activities. So one of the dangerous one is called the session hijacking. So cross-site scripting is very frequently used in hijacking the session, because we know that the session are maintained through cookies, and there is a function called document.cookies, which is very dangerous, and it is used for the particular capturing your information. So we will find out this is the particular statement document.location.hack.html. If this code is injected, website will be redirected to hack.html web pages. So cross-site scripting attack, which is also called XSS, this flaw occur when application include user supply data in a page which is sent to the web browser without properly validating or escaping that content. It means the code which are injected in such a way the system is not able to check it, or sometimes there is a vulnerabilities, no checking mechanisms are there. And this is vulnerabilities is more prevalent than SQL injection because it executed from the web browser and which does not require access to your backend databases. So no special privileges is required to launch this attack. So the consequences of malicious JavaScript, like cookies theft. Cookies are very important. They maintain the sessions. So attacker can access the victim cookies, which are associated with this command. And we have the document.cookies. When you fire this command, by any means, all the cookies are gathered. And you can display these cookies, you can store these cookies, you can even fix the cookies. So that is called the session fixation. We will discuss this particular concept in session hijacking class. So then another way, the JavaScript keyword event listener are used. So what the attacker does, they can register a keyword event listener using add event listener and then send all the user keystroke to his own server and perform the surveillance, and potentially recording sensitive information such as the password and credit card number, the tender information. What you are typing is recorded by this script. The third one is the phishing. Phishing means redirecting to some other website. The attacker can insert a fake login from into the page using DOM manipulation. Document object module. We generally have the hierarchies of particular object. Say we have window, then we have document, then in a form we have text box, password box, order list, unordered list, then their index value. So manipulating these values, it is possible to launch the attack onto the system. So what it does, it set the form's action attribute to target his own server and then trick the user into submitting sensitive information. So this type of phishing allows the suspicious user to hijack user session. So it may be possible your Gmail session may be hijacked, your shopping session may be hijacked, it will be manipulated. Deface website, your website content may be redirected to some other web pages which contain some illegal material or defame the particular reputation of an organization. Sometimes insert a hostile content to the website, redirect the users to the different websites. This is a simple example of cross-site scripting attack. So first, the attacker check whether the website is vulnerable or not. How it will check? First, it will inject this code, which is script alert hello. So alert hello is like a message box that indicate the start of script and that indicate the end of script. When he presses the submit button, if this message is appeared, that indicate the website is vulnerable. Website is vulnerable to cross-site scripting attack, which is called the XSS attack. So that is the, so if you want to check whether the website is vulnerable to this type of XSS attack, you have injected simple a one-line code. If it is executed, means website is vulnerable. It is sometimes more difficult. That is called the persistence. These guest books are available, suggestion forms are available. Here, instead of entering the required information, what the attacker does, attacker will inject the code. This is code which will be redirected to the hack.php. And this code is stored into the databases of web servers. So this code is stored, and when the user is fetched, the particular website will be redirected to this document.location hack.php. I will also demonstrate all this attack after that class. So this is the persistence attack. Previous one was the reflected attack. Here the information are saved into the databases for further use, and they may be pop up. Third way, you can inject your in the option tools is there. Either modify header is there. In a modify header field, you can also inject the code. So three ways there through which you are able to inject the code. Number one, through the text box. Number two, URL listing, or you can modify. This code is injected. There are three ways through which the cross-site scripting attack may be carried out. So if we understand this concept, like now these days, we have some interpreter. So web application has learning machine cross-site scripting vulnerability. If application uses a script interpreter embedded into user agent M. M is a user agent. So it is possible for user to provide a set of input in the form of JavaScript or VB script. This input to the web application that will cause the application to pass program P to M. And then there are the P, some element coming from input that be passed by the grammar. So a predefined constant of the grammar language is here. If it is accepted, that means it is a vulnerable string. If it is rejected, that means it is the genuine one. So interpreters are embedded through the regular expression or the context-free grammar. And based on this, if this language is accepted, if this particular regular expression is correct, identify, that means this is suffer from the cross-site scripting attack. We have three types of attack in the cross-site scripting attack. One is called non-persistence attack. In the non-persistence attack, it is also called the reflected attack. So in this type of attack, non-persistent attack need a delivered method to initiate the attack, such as an email or malicious form. So you get one email, one link will be provided. This is a suspicious link, say free tour of NIT student for National University of Singapore. And when you click it, your session may be hijacked. So the particular link will be generated dynamically, or sometime the attacker entered the code through the form or passed the code through the query string through the address bar of a URL. Another one is called persistence attack. Here the attacker is saved the particular suspicious script into the storage medium such as a database or file, and later they will be extracted and perform the illegal operation.
DOM-based attack, this attack manipulate the DOM. So generally the structure is there. Say example, we want to select the value 3. So it will be select the index value 2, means 0 for 1, 1 for 1, 2 for 3. But instead, at the runtime, he will manipulate the values and it will call select the index value 2. So it is possible that the values are manipulated very easily. Say example, we have one selected, say we want to select a particular pop-up and values are say 1, 2, and we have 3. Based on this selection, index values are this one for array, for selection of array. And in the DOM structure, which is pointed to 2, we want to select the value 2, medium size. What the attacker does, he will manipulate such a way the value 3 will be selected. So instead of medium value, the larger size value will be selected. So here the DOM document object modules are manipulated. That is called the DOM based attack. So persistence attack, where malicious string originate from website database, means database contain the malicious string which are stored by the attacker and later it will be pop up. Reflected, where the malicious string originate from victim request. So victim want to join your group, want to avail some services which are the fake one. He click it and the attack is executed through malicious string. DOM based attack, where the vulnerability is in the client side code rather than the server side code. So client side code where forms values are manipulated. If they want to check the 1 value, the value 2 will be selected. So values are of your forms and the other things are checked. So they are the actors in cross-site script attack. First is website server. So HTML pages to user who request them. In our example, it is located in our website. So website database is a database that stores some of the user input included in the web pages. So website is vulnerable where the data are stored. So code is insert from the guest book or available suggestion box and not executed, which is be entered and stored. The other actor is victim, which is a normal user who requests the web pages and using his browser and navigating the browsers. Then the attacker. So attacker is a malicious user of website who intend to launch an attack on victim by exploiting the cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. So attacker may be a person or he may a particular server he may use. So this server controls by the attacker for the sole purpose of stealing the victim sensitive information. Say example, a server is built, say free solution for a particular book and just ask if you want to download it. When they download, their session may be hijacked or some other illegal operation may be conducted, like session hijacking, cookies may be steal, or it may possible that website will be redirected to some other location. Now we discuss the reflected attack. So reflected attack is very simple one. We have already executed. What happened? Here we have this attacker server. So what attacker does? They will just request and send the particular request, that particular, they say, okay, you want this. So they will generate a one dynamic script and dynamic script will say free tour for this one and free tour for this one, free tour for National University of Singapore. And they also clear this function. This is the very dangerous function which kept all your cookies. So plus document.cookies statement will use to steal the cookies and it will send it. That will be go there. Then you search, request for search keyword. It will return back and then it will generate, the server will generate this code http document.cookies, and when they click it, this cookies will be steal. So reflected attack, the particular link will be generated and server will generate some document.cookies, and this document.cookies are clicked and your client side will be attacked and attacker will get the session values through the sensitive data. So cookies values will be passed to the server. I will take also one example. Then the non-persistent attack, the attacker exploit the vulnerabilities of HTTP response. So this attack occurs when information is passed through the query string. So query string is a way of passing the parameter. You will find out this is a query string. So many times we have found the values are passing through question mark. So this is the example of query string. And many web portals provide a personalized, so many times they ask for your username and treat with this. Say example, they ask what is your name, so you will find out these are two information are passed. One is your session ID, another one is username Rajesh, and it will say welcome Rajesh. So this username are stored also into the cookies, and these values are stored into the cookies, and once you enter, these values are reflected, and so these are stored in your machine. Cookies are stored into the client machine, and which are generated by the web server, and next time they will be pop up. Another way you can modify the URL inserting cookie stealing information, and this information is subsequently if the attacker can manage to get the victim visit with the URL. So what happened? The attacker in the query string here, the query string is start from question mark. So here what he will do? He will put here plus document.cookies. So he want to steal the cookies, and the message will be like that: click to free download new movies. So when the user want, okay, new movies are available, when they click, actually it is not the movies, they will contain document write hack.php. So what it does, when he click onto this, click to free download new movies, this command will execute. That will take all the document.cookies, and website will be redirected to hack.php. So this way the session are hijacked. I will demonstrate all this through the live demonstration. Okay. Persistence attacker, where attacker does not need to provide the URL to the victim. So no, dynamically the URL is generated. Instead of this, the data are stored into the guest book, suggestion book, or into the databases. So simple, this information are suspicious, enter the following script, and they are stored into the guest book. So guest book will contain this information. So when and it is not immediately executed, it is stored. When they want to retrieve the record, this record will be fetched, and they will get this script. When they click it, document.cookies, and website will be redirected. So here, this is the example of phpMyAdmin of Joomla. You will find out. So here's a lot of codes are available, and the particular information are there. So Joomla is using all the web pages of MANIT are like Hindi portal, Joomla, Hindi editorial board, alumni portals, student portal, web club portals, all information are stored. So Joomla is based on content management, where all the information are stored in the cookies, or in the form of cookies, and also in the form of JavaScript, PHP code. So they are the different tables are there, which also store. So each table contains the code, and this code is, so we cannot say we are not allowed to store the code, because for web content management, we have to allow the code to be written. This is an example of persistence attack. It is very interesting. Here no dynamic URL is generated. Already we have one web pages. So this is website. So what attacker does? Attacker will write some script onto that. Like this script, latest window.cookies. So this here, he may inject the code, and that code is stored into the one database of a server like guestbook. Similar code is there, document.cookies means retrieving the cookies, and this is the attacker machines, and it will respond, and here victim browser will get the link. So it will not dynamically generated by the attacker. It will be stored into the website. When they click it, they find it, the particular, when they want to retrieve it, this will be executed. So this is stored into databases. When they access the database, this will be pop-up generated. When you click it onto this, the cookies is steal. So cookies contain your session. So we will shortly use the one data vulnerabilities tool, DVWA, in which I will demonstrate all this concept practically. to you. In the DBWA, all this persistence and DOM and reflected attack are possible. So here the attacks are written. Now we discuss a very simple attack scenarios. Attack scenario is a systematic step. So you will find out how it is executed. Say example, one victim there, some guestbook or forms are there, attacker is there. He first write a script alert hello, his website is vulnerable, and enter some code. Post a malicious website code, but their link or tag is different. When she find an interesting thing, she click onto this and their session may be hijacked. So this is the vulnerable web server. This is the attacker. This is a victim. So she just find. So the step is look, find the vulnerable website by script alert hello. He may put the attacker, may click onto that and inject some vulnerable code. It generates some interesting thing. When she click it, its session may be hijacked. So say example, attacker put this code. So this is the code he will post. Instead of suggestion in the guestbook, he put this comment. It says solution of McLear chapter 4 download, and it not contain the solution. It contain the attacker address here. It contain plus document.cookies, means all the cookies which are active will be retrieved. And when he or she click onto that, all the cookies are used and move to the destination type. So when they put it, it will say very interesting one. After that, it is generated through the databases computer network solution of McLear by Mr. Kavish. And when they click it, when this particular victim girl click this, the session is hijacked because it is contained the document. So this is the query string because it is passing through question mark, and this query string will contain the session, and this session will be redirected to 192.168.1.4, which is the attacker machine. So in this way, it is possible to hijack the.
So I hope that concept of session hijacking is not clear. There is some code attack because it is possible because HTTP is a status protocol. If we are using HTTPS, which run on port number 443, it is very difficult to launch this type of attack. So generally, that's why it is recommended to use HTTPS. So in the ethical hacking, I have prepared more than 70 lectures and various recordings are available. So it is very difficult to cover within a 1.5 hour most of the thing. So I will try to some of the things which are even not available in your internet domain. Some of the attack whose demonstration we have developed in our laboratory. So this attack practically I will demonstrate what is session, how the sessions are created, how the cookies are created, how the cookies are read, how the cookies are write. Then I will create the session and also create the one cookies, and then at the runtime I will hijack this session. So now I will demonstrate, because here we need to close the browser 2 and 3 times. So how the session hijacking demo. So this is the practical demonstration that I will give you with the one video. Okay.
To make the transaction with end user, cookies are used or the session are used between the client and server, and this session play a very vital role. Sometimes this session may be hijacked and the personal information may be stolen, or the attacker is able to take the credential or enter it from the different machines. There is 2 types of session: persistent session, which is available even you close the browser, and non-persistence session, when you close the browser, session will terminate it. So we shall discuss each one. So first, how the session are established, we shall discuss that. And in this first say example, we are here and I'm using a web server in which the MySQL is a backend and front end we are using PHP. So here, very simple example, I have created one session and the session values are show it's 1. So it is indicated the values are set at the 1. When I will refresh this, it becomes 2. And when I again refresh, it will become 3, 4, 5, and so on. So in this way, the values are incremented each time session are used. I will show you the program, how this is executed. So you will find out here
very simple example, which is written in PHP, this code. It indicates here we have starting of PHP. Here the session are start. If session is not established, is not set, then its value will be 1. And if it is set, its value will be incremented by 1 by 1. So in this way, the sessions values are incremented and the session values are remain in all other pages during the browser navigation. So now this value is 5. Here you will see we increment this value, that will become 6, 7. So you are just find out its values are 7. And when we open another tab, here the values are 7. When we open another tab and paste this URL, that value will be 8. So once we move from one tab to other tab, it will retain its old value and increment it. So when we refresh it, it will become 9, 10, 11, 12. And when we back to the previous tab, here, it will again 13. So that means the session values are shared among the various tabs which are open in the browser. When this values is now set, so some values we have fetched from this tab and from this tab. So values are shared. If I will switch to this tab, it will become the 17. So when I move to this session, it will become the value. So 16 is there. When I cross it, it will become 17. So that is the basic concept. The sessions values are when we close the browser. I have closed the browser here. Okay. And then again when we open a browser again here, and we will put the values by calling this URL, its value will be 1. So when the browser is closed, this values is set to be 1. That is the basic concept of session. So the session are established and remain. This variable may be shared among the various tabs in the browsers. When you close the browser, sessions are also closed and reset its value to the 1. That is the basic concept. Now we shall discuss the two basic concepts, how the session will take place. So I will show you how the cookies are write into the server to the client machine and how the cookies are read. So first we see the program that is used for the. So we will see the program here, and in this program, this is the program for writing the cookies values. So this is a simple PHP program which indicate the starting of PHP, it indicate the ending of PHP. Here we are using username, and Amit is a value that will be stored into this username. And that cookies are persistence, means that are available with the time plus 4800 seconds. And if we will remove it, that is called the non-persistent. So now I'm using and calling this function that name is wcook, writing cookies values and set its value, and you will find out. So once we go there and set its value, so this is the program here. Now I click onto it and that cookies are written into the browsers. So another program we will check is called the reading of cookies. So program name is rcook, reading the cookies values. So now we will see its code. Its code is also very simple. We all know. Here you can find it indicate the starting of PHP. It indicate the ending of PHP. Here we are using echo read cookies.br. That is the message. And here we are displaying the cookies name user, which is Amit. So we welcome. So this way the cookies are used for the personalization, which store the values into your browsers. And when you call it, so now I will call this cookies by using the program is rcookies. Cookies are also written in this way. Now these cookies are read and we will get the values welcome back Amit. So in this way we are able to get the values is Amit. So this is a simple way through which we are reading the cookies and we are writing the cookies. Okay. Now we will establish the session. So session are established when we moving from one location to the other location. Say example, that is called the PHP session. So we are here. I will call the function localhost we are here. So we are at the page P1 here, and when we move to the page P2, the session is established. We will go there and we close the browsers. Just a minute. We take this program and we close the browsers, and now I will open a browser again. So you will find out here, I will call this function P1, and that when we move, some values are transferred. So that values are here. So this is the query string. Query string is a way of passing the parameter. So this is our server name, this is our folder, this is our folder. And here this is name of program, and this is the query string. So query string is a passing the parameter through URL. What happening here? Some values are transmitting. So these values are very important. So many times you will find out some values are transmitting from this one. So this, if this attacker is copy this session, that is called the session hijacking, and in the other URL he may paste it, that is called the session fixation. Then it may be possible that your session may be hijacked and fixed at the other location. So this is a simple way you can get it here. And now we will open other tab, and this is the one other program that is very dangerous, that is local host, and we have already explained you that called the document.location. So document.locations, now we will see its code. So you will find out here so what I'm doing, I'm just displaying its session, so I'm capturing this session and displaying through the alert. So this command we have already discussed so many times with the plus document.cookies, that will capture all the cookies which are set, their values or the session values. So here you can capture the values, store into the array, mail to your friends, or you can put into the array and later it may use. We are just displaying that cookie. So here we are hijacking this session and displaying to you. That indicate that session is hijacked. So here we have find out that one session is this one, which is activate now, and other sessions is which is written username equal to cookies. So now what I will do, I will go there and call this function, or the attacker will use it and give you the particular information. So I will put this source session which contain document.cookies. So when I click it, you will find out it will indicate, and both the sessions are hijacked. So first is through the username equal to cookies, and second is equal to PHP session ID is equal to this one. So these sessions are hijacked. So through the document.cookies, when I use script alert document.cookies, this session which are established between the client and server are captured and displayed, because we are using alert. You can also store them into the variable and later you can use it. So in this way the session are hijacked. So in this experiment, first I shown to you that how the session are established, how their values are incremented. They can be shared between the tabs. Once you close the tab, the session is destroyed. So I think the concept of session hijacking is now clear to you, how the document cookies are used and how the session are hijacked. Okay. Is it okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we shall discuss the other concept. These are called the active attack. So active attack and passive attacks are there. So there is so many ways like DNS spoofing, TCP spoofing, and SMTP vulnerabilities. Then we have a DNS farming attack, code injection attack, password hacking attack, wireless attack, then the attack on cloud system. So I'm not discussing very in much detail. But other very important thing that I have discussed with you is called the footprinting. So what happened? First, the attacker in the ethical hacker wants what technology you are using. So information are more vital. More information, very serious and better attack may be launched. More information, more effective investigation. So exception handling is not good for hacking or security. If you are disclosing you are using this database, like your server is using Oracle database or your server is using Sybase database or MySQL database, then they will find the versions. And then later they will find what are the vulnerabilities are associated with that. And then that will exploit these vulnerabilities. So footprinting is not the way through which they gather the information, or we can call that is a passive attack. So we shall discuss what is footprinting. So there is a simple way. Network scanning means how services are running onto the machines, what machines are on, what machines are alive, what machines are off. Port scanning. Port scanning means different ports are there. So some ports using different type of chatting server, multi-terminal games. Then some are using the email, then telnet. So what services are running and what services are on. So then operating system detection, what platform sitting there means in the MCU.ac.in or MNIT.allahabad.ac.in or MNIT.Bhopal.ac.in, what type of OS they are using. If they are using Windows, then they can exploit the window hacking. If they are using the Linux, then they can use the Linux hacking, because each one has their own flavor. And then firewalking, what is behind the firewall. So these are some issues through which we are able to perform the network scanning. I'm not taking in much detail because in your timetable it is mentioned that port scanning is a different topic which will cover by some other experts. So I'm not taking the detail, but ethical hackers will use these techniques. So port scanning, what are the target machines? What are the software which are running onto the target machine? Ping sweeping means the basic network scanning technique where they are using the SYN scanning, FIN scanning, null scanning, various type of TCP packets are there and they can find. The purpose is to know what services are running, whether machine is on or machine is off, and then they launch the attack. There is one very important tool is called the map, that is called the network mapper, that is available in secure.org. It is a free open source tool which are used for the network probing to identify what machines are running. So various type of commands like nmap that indicate the mapper, that indicate 192.168.1.2 is your target machine address. These are the port range. And here we are using the SYN type of TCP scanning with the port range. So through this parameter, we are able to know. But there are other tools are available like super scan. Here you do not need, you only need to put your IP addresses, what you want to search, start IP address, and then what type of scanning you want to perform. Then various type of hacking tools that will be in the box of that is called the Tiger box. They have like the network scanning, what packet are going, what packet are going out. Keyloggers are there. Stagnant cryptography where we hide the information. One behind the tools are also there. So Wireshark or Ethers are there. This is one example of multi-tier systems with the Ethers. So you need to convert into device and various packets are transmitting. When you click onto the particular packets, then their hexa values are available, and with the hexa value you are able to get the information. So this is also a passive way to getting the information through the network mapping. Okay. Now we shall discuss the other some issues with the passive attack. Before that, I will cover so the more footprinting technique where we gather the information from your systems. Okay. So errors are other very important source of gathering the information. You can also use the blind Sql injection. So I am just discussing with the some of the way through which is the attack. Say example, in the hackers first want to know what type of device you are using. So say example, here it is showing that error, that is the error of your JEE counseling, which are the central seat allotment board.ac.in. At the URL, they are indicating they are using GSP technology. So that indicates that disclose that they using the GSP technology, and then the hackers will understand and try to learn what are the weaknesses in GSP. If these weaknesses are not properly handled, they may attack your system. Another way, at the errors, when they are generating the errors, it also indicating that Apache Tomcat 7.0.39. So this is the attack. So attacker is able to know passively what are the technology are used by the target machines. And through this, they are able to know what type of machines are using, and then they exploit. Under here in the railway, they are showing that port number. This is also the vulnerabilities. So another way, when you are able to get that particular IP address, then there is a one whois command. Who is the database command through which you are able to detail of a website. That is also called the footprinting. Like when you get the vehicle number, you are get the detail of a vehicle. My vehicle number is MP04C27383. When you put this into the RTO website, then you will get my detail, both detail, my personal detail and also the technical detail of my vehicle, whether it is a petrol or a diesel or a Honda make, and then the engine type, the capacity, sitting capacity, engine capacity, all these are available. So like that, when you scrutinize your code, what happens when you get your fake email? So you have to analyze your headers. So when you analyze the headers, you will get the information from the whois database. And in the whois database, that is also way of passive fingerprinting. When you enter, you will get the information. The server names are available, their IP addresses are available. Then the where our website are stored. Then the name, the fax number, mobile number, telephone number, all details are available. And say example, what happened when the particular attacker launched the attack, and after the launching the attack, their IP address are available. Then once IP address are available, then this IP address is belong to which organization, what is their PIN code number, what is their landline number, what is their email account, they will contact them. Then make the chain of evidence. Say example, we get this mail, Sachin Tendulkar. This is the fake email. This is the example of email hacking. Various type of now these days email facilities are there which claim that this mail is from Sachin Tendulkar, but it was sent from some other person, like anonymousmailer.com. So here you will find out, and then you find out the email, whether it is genuine or not. Here you can click it on the Gmail, and there is a show original portion is there. So through show original, you will find out that IP addresses are there. And once IP addresses are available, you have to find out from which machine. This is not the address of sender. This is the address of email server through which this email is sent. So then I will check you the scenario. Say example, how is it used? Okay, you will find out here. My screen is visible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
How the
Yes, visible.
for example, a fake email is sent by some facility to a girl. What the girl does, girl will open an email. If it is a Gmail, then she will go there in the Gmail here and find the source original. If it is a Yahoo, then you can type in a Google how to open a header of a Yahoo, how to open a header of a Rediff mail. Then after the email header, you will find out what she does. She will get the email header, the first address or the last address that indicate the from server which are sent. Then she will use registered database that is called the whois. And here she type this IP address. Each country has their own register. Say example, if you want to search a JG of Gujarat vehicle in MP RTO data site, it will not available. So if the website or vehicle number which is started with the Gujarat JJ or Punjab PB, you have to search their particular RTO office. Similar here, each country has their own whois register for maintaining the databases, tracking this. Then after that, they will get the information. This is not the address of target machine. It is here the address of the server like webdunia.com, whose port is open, or any server through which this is exploited. Then their phone number, their emails, all are available to them. What they does, they will go there. Okay. After that, they will contact their particular person who will check its log at what date, what time this particular email was thrown from their machine to this particular guy. Then they will find out one IP address. Then they will search for local ISP provider. Say ISP provider may be Jio, maybe your BSNL, or maybe your Airtel. Say example, it was sent from Airtel, so they will find out from the ISP log. And after the ISP log, it was sent from one cafe. In a cafe, there are different machines are there. Their address are also there. And they can find out this was sent from this machine. And now these days, cafe are used either OTP of your mobile. Through mobile, they are connected, or they can need your identity card. And then the attacker will caught. So this is the way the chain of evidences are made. And through the chain of evidences, we are able to extract it. So this is a very simple way. So who is register play a very important role for gathering the IP address to the particular person or organization. If it is directly involved, he can find out. If it is not directly involved, they can tell us from which ISP provider it was sent, then ISP will tell you from which IP it was sent, and from within organization, the particular administrator will tell you from which machine or which lab it was sent. So now, according to the laws, now these days, it is mandatory to keep these records. Then another one is OS fingerprinting. Operating system fingerprinting is the process of learning what operating system are running. So each operating system has their own clock, own behavior. So one of the students wrote the paper that OS behavior analysis through the footprint printing, because Microsoft operating system uses some ports. If these ports are used, then it indicates that your machines are used. So if 137, 138, 139, 445, so if these ports are used, means the target machine is using the Windows operating system. Or there is some other way through which we are also able to understand the operating system. So there is a 1-2 command, traceroute and ping command, through which we are able to find out. I will just tell you how is it possible. See example here. So now we discuss how the operating system detection will take place. Here you will find out two things are there. First, we count the number of hop from this machine to that machine, and then we calculate its value. Since router each takes the millisecond. If there is star, that indicate that the firewall are installed. So two commands are there. Through the traceroute command, we are able to get the particular IP addresses. So say example, we want to know which type of operating system are running on hackingmobile.com. So what the person does, he will write ping www.hackermobile.com website name, and he will get the IP address of this is 202.71.129.291, and the TTL value that we get is 55. So he will just note down this TTL value, and after the TTL value, he will use a traceroute command. So after the ping command, he will use a traceroute command like C:, traceroute command gives the number of hop. So say example, here the number of hop is 10 and one is star, so one minus, so number of hop is 9. Number of intermediate routers are 9. And then the formula is called initial TTL value with number of hop. So TTL value is 55, number of hop is 9, so it becomes the 64. Then there is one table is available in the internet where if this is 64, then what type of operating system? So your operating system from Linux or Unix family. If its value is 255, then it may be this one. Okay. If it is 128, that means it is a window. So this way you are able to get which type of operating system are running onto your target machine. So this is also the ethical hacker used to detection of target operating system which run onto the different machines. So I hope that will be clear to you. Another way is called the banner grabbing. So banner grabbing means you send an error, then it will return the display some errors, and these errors we are able to get that what type of particular banners are used by the system. So banner grabbing is an attack designed to reduce the brand and version of an operating system. Why we want to know? Once we are able to know which type of technology are used, we are able to grab the information. Okay. So banner grabbing reduce the brand. The simplest, most basic form is the HTTP server error. So so then you will send it. It will say your server name is Apache, your server name is Microsoft, IIS, your server name is Netscape. So active banner especially crack packet, send and capture the remote. Passive banner, which are used by the error messages. So error messages are used. So display a false banner. So what we does, either we use IIS server. So lockdown tools, server mask tools are there. You do not disclose your IIS technology, Microsoft technology, or Apache Linux technology. It will say beautiful lake. Server name is beautiful lake. So server name is journalism university. So in this way, they are not able to find out. If that is Apache you are using, then you can go and enter into the mod header files, modules, and give you the new server name. Sometimes hidden file extensions are also hidden by this mod negotiation files. For example, I am giving this header without any URL. So this will give you the 80. Telnet is a remote login command, and it will give you and it will display your banner name. So it will display that web server is your server name. And then there is one website called the securityfocus.com. You note down its name. All the vulnerabilities are very well documented. In this, so many websites are also there. So what your purpose is to find what are the weaknesses with the web server. So first you have to find out which type of server are used on target machine. And from the target machine, you have to find out what type of weakness in this. So you can find out in the web server, they are asking for your vulnerable. So we have put it here, the vendor name is web server. It will select all if you have the Y version, title, or direct the errors number you have. If you don't have, you can also only put web server name. And once you click it, it will give you this message. That web server is 3857 input validation error. This is suffering from cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. Means this attack is suffering from cross-site scripting vulnerabilities and which are exploited. So their information, their discussion, how it exploit, their solutions are there, and various references are also there. So in this way, the attacker is able to know what type of vulnerabilities are there, and these vulnerabilities are found. So you can, if you hide the banners that indicate unknown, yes, we are using masking. So wherever the particular informations are not visible to you. So vulnerabilities, you will go there and find out. There's one website called Cert India. So here you will find out, I think website was slow. So various type of vulnerabilities are there. In the home page, you will find the latest vulnerabilities are there. So you will find out, although this is very old, so it indicates cert vulnerabilities. Notice CVI number is that it is today is 8th. It was noticed or identified in this that cross-site scripting vulnerabilities is variation switch for women plugin for WordPress. So WordPress software is suffer from this cross-site scripting vulnerability. Although I work in this in the 2007, but still you will, this is the proof that still these are the very dangerous. Code injection vulnerabilities in IBM MQ appliances. ये 2 दिन पहले आपको मिला हुआ है. It is a 2 day back. It is noticed that this in the December 6, 2021, these vulnerabilities are there. Then other vulnerabilities are memory vulnerabilities in Firefox. Even these vulnerabilities are very well documented. So attacker is able to know what type was the latest vulnerability. That is for the 0-day attack, but their owner is not able to patch it properly. Okay. So what the attacker does? Attacker will just go there and find out what are the weaknesses in their system. And if they are able to find that your system are using WordPress, then they can use this vulnerability. Or old vulnerability nodes are there. This website is a little bit slow. In which the old vulnerabilities are also available. From last few years vulnerabilities, their nodes are available. If it will be open, then I will show you. So in this way, they find the technology, find the vulnerabilities from securityfocus.com, Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, and attack the system. So this is called the footprinting technique. So many other techniques are there because we have limited time. So now we say what in the ethical hacking, what we can do legally. So law involving technology changes as rapidly as technology itself. Find what is legal for your locally. Law changes from place to place. Each country has their own law. In some country, it is permitted, not permitted. Prohibited means they will caught you, but not will punish you, only give you the warning. Then no rule is defined. Sometimes the rules are not defined. So you even, especially when we visit the abroad, we have to find out what is legal and what is illegal in this country, in their country. Okay, so be aware of what is allowed and what is not allowed, especially when you are moving, especially when you work with the server or some entering into some zones, then you have just understand what is allowed and what is not allowed. Okay. So what you cannot do legally, accessing a computer without permission is illegal. This is my laptop, this is my server. Why you want to access? Why you want to use it? This is legal or illegal. So if you, I'm not giving you the permission and you are using without my permission, it is illegal. My system, I have not asked to install the virus. Why you are installing the virus through your mobile or through your Wi-Fi connection or through your pen drive? Denial of service attack. The email facilities are provided by each one in our MANIT campus to the student. If this service is not available, why? Because we have the right to use these services. Denying use access to the network resources. Some resources are there, repositories are there, IEEE journals are there. If they are available in MANIT, some hacker is changed it, why we are not able to get it. Okay. Third one, the last one is, which is very important, is be careful your action. Do not prevent customer and user from doing their jobs. You cannot say, sir, we are doing the penetration testing, we are using the ethical hacking. So for next 3 days, your whole network will down, or your email system will down, or your online fees management system or online student information system will down. It is not permitted. Okay. So what are the ethical hackers required? In-depth knowledge of parameter manipulation, session hijacking, buffer overflow, cross-scripting, database uses, technical knowledge of router, firewall, or server component, other network component, good troubleshoot skills. So generally, they should have the ability to see big picture system flaws rather than just giving the theoretical knowledge. And now we shall discuss other very important, virtualization and ethical hacking. It is not possible you can use your friend machine as an attacker and your machine as a victim and other machine as a resources. No. So virtualization is a process of running the virtual instances of a computer system in a layer abstracted from the actual hardware. So most commonly, these type of refer to running multiple operating system. You can also run one Linux system to exploit the Linux vulnerability, Windows operating system. So create a safe hacking environment. So if you want to learn, you want to do, you create a virtualization. So we can create a virtual environment with the help of VirtualBox software. Various softwares are available in the virtualization. You can find out virtual machine software, Oracle, Microsoft, VMware, Fusion, Red Hat. These type of virtualization are used. I am just giving you the one software. The concept of one software is available here. You will find out. It's called the DVWA. DVWA, Daemon Web Application Vulnerable Tool. It is freely available. If you want to work, then this is the DVWA tool. This is also called the virtualization software. You can go there and install it. It is website is available. You can go there and check it. ये आपका बैंड बहुत परेशान कर रहा है मुझे. ऊपर नीचे Zoom में ये प्रॉब्लम है बहुत ज़्यादा. So here I will put admin and here I will put password. And I will enter, and you will find out various type of commands are there. So these are the attacks are there. And before launching this attack, you have to set its security. If security is high, means attack is possible. You go there in a DVW security, you can put the low, means attack is possible. You put it low, and here you can write Sql injection attack. So I have find out, and I put 2, so it will display the value 2. I will put 3. It will give you the 3. If I will put 17 or 1 equal to 1, it will display all the information. And we can see its source code. So source code you can also watch from this location. When you go there, and you can find out here various sources are available. And here it is clearly see that the values are transferred here and directly passed without checking it. Now, again, what I will do, I will go there and put it security is high. So DVWA security is high. When you put it security is high and submit it, now you put 17 or 1 equal to 1, attack is not possible because this is a safe code, and when you view the source code, you will find out there are the safe strings plus and my real escape string. These are the 2 statements which are possible. So in this way, you are able to get this type of attack. So this is a simple virtualization. Create your environment. You can also run onto the multiple machine. One machine can be a victim, one machine can be attacker through the virtualization. So this type of DVW is there. You can go there, and before that, the vulnerabilities are very well documented in CERT that I have told to you. You can go there and check in 2019 vulnerability. I think website is very slow, so we click it and wait for the other. And here you can find out the DVWA, Daemon Web Application Vulnerable Tool. So whole website is available. Their videos are also available on YouTube. You can go there and check it. So it is a Daemon vulnerability is the ad security professional to check their programming skill or security skill in the legal environment, because you cannot directly access or hack any machine without the permission. Okay. So through this, you are able to get it and use it. Okay. So virtualization is very important, especially, and these are some software which you can use for virtualization. So virtualization is cost effective, less hardware is required, multiple virtual machine or operating system services on single machine you can use, various form of computer as a service, various services you can use. Isolate, you can also use a sandboxing to execute the vulnerable code, or you can use a honeypot. So great for reliability and recovery. Okay, work on multiple OS, develop and debug OS modules. So virtualization can test and exploit or vulnerable without risking to crash a production network. You can legally practice hacking without having any legal problem. So you can work, you can create your own machines rather than physically virtual machines. Okay, and because in some countries you cannot perform even port scanning. In some countries, even doing a port scanning without a proper authorization can cause you serious legal issues. So virtual machines are not important for hacking. Rather, hacking become a lot easier using virtual machines. So they provide the ability to work quickly, then back to non-state. So in a security point of view, a system is good system that need to define in the specific manner, it work correctly, fail gracefully without disclosing too much error. It does not do more than specified. It does not leak any sensitive information. So there are various websites are there. One website, if you especially want to work in the cross-site scripting or Sql injection attack, is OWASP. OWASP rank your attacks every year. In the 2007, Sql injection was stopped. In 2013, your session hijacking is on top. So various websites are there. Anti-phishing, web application consortiums, OWASP is there. Okay. Then security focus, packet storm, US cert. So no language can, I will conclude my lecture with that statement. No language can prevent insecure code. You cannot say we are using Java, so sir, we are safe. We are using Oracle, we are safe. These are the problem of way of you are executing the things rather than their standards. If you are following the security standard, it is not possible that other person can hack your machine. Okay. Software should behave in a predictable manner despite unexpected input or user action. You cannot say, sir, we are using Oracle, so we are safe, or we are not allowed the user to enter the code. He may enter. Website is asking for PNR number. He may enter the SQL or other command. It is asking for login password. He may enter login equal to Bhopal, password equal to Indore, or 1 equal to 1. If this logic is not properly handled, then it might possible that attacker will enter into your system and hack one. Okay. So these are some screenshots. It is already videos are available. You can, if you want to explore, you can go there in the YouTube. You're there. This is my email address. You note down. If you have any problem, you can mail me. I will reply. deepaktomar@manit.ac.in. Okay. So I will now stop my sharing. Okay. And on my video. And I will happy to answer the query. If you have any queries, you may ask.
Yes, participants. If you have any queries.
I have discussed a lot of things with you, the ethical hacking, their hardware ethical hacking.
See, because we are having very less time in 2 hours, many things were covered. But if you have any anything.
No, I have covered only the 2% of my whole content. Okay.
Same thing. I'm telling this.
I just share with you.
That sir is having so much practical exposure also. So if you are willing to ask anything, you can ask.
Or you can put in the chat box if you wish.
I think it was very heavy for them. And post-lunch sessions and then heavy content.
I try to make it practical also.
Yes, yes. Yes, it was very informative. I was even full session I was watching. So participants. Okay, one question is there. That is Aviruchi Jan. I just want to know how we prevent our system by these type of hackings.
There's a different type of hackings are there. If the we are talking about the server hacking, so their minimum sometimes the functionality become the vulnerabilities. Those functionality you are not using, you can disable these functionality of your web servers. If you are using the network, your policy should be properly updated and regularly visited, updated. Audit should be conducted for your resources. Okay. And your particularly protection mechanism like firewall or virus scanner should be properly handled. Do not click onto some suspicious link. Okay. Do not download some exe files. Okay. And perform your health checkup of your machine regularly. These are some things that you can do.
Okay, Mahalakshmi, K. Mahalakshmi, do you have any query? Because here,
Sir, I want to know how I protect my IoT device data at the time of transmission. If I wish to store the data in cloud.
Very challenging because IoT data, the Wi-Fi is there, wire dump is there. Okay. So you have to use enough secure key that cannot be easily decrypted. So balancing should be there. If you will use a strong key, then it will take too much your consumption power. So in the IoT security, main is the communication vulnerability and sometimes processing vulnerability. So these two issues should be taken care.
So, thank you, sir. How
And
I
Mr.
know further?
Mr. Khan is asking, sir, now there is no accesses in OWS top 10. So you are talking about which year? In the draft copy is there, but it is not still finalized. I have proof you that in the 2 days back, one of your WordPress system is hacked by the accesses attack. That is disclosed by the Indian CERT. So it is still a dangerous one because sometimes some lacunas are there, they can execute it. Okay. Does clearing cookies prevent hackers? Yes, but at the runtime, if you will clear the cookies, that will not give you the particular some website need the cookie should be there. Okay. And cookies are important for privacy also, for personalization also. I tried to run this in a DVW, but there was no alert. I'm not understand. Means you have DVWA, or you are talking about the access attack. I'm just showing you. I'm sharing my screen. You there, go there, checking. I will take 1 minute. So now I am using in the DVWA. Yes, it is there. DVW is there. And I am just using the DVW security is low now. And I will use the accesses reflected. So I will use here cross-site scripting. It is executing. It is executing. Means the website is vulnerable. Even for the persistence attack, you can go there. It is still executing. So both are the executing. I've shown to you. Okay. Any more thing you want to ask, or that's enough for today? How I will back to my control. ये अभी मैंने स्क्रीन शेयर किया था, आपको दिखाई दिया था?
Yes, sir.
जो मैंने एक्सेसिव अटैक चलाया था DVW पे, दिखाई दिया था आपको?
Yes.
Okay, now I will unshare. Okay, thank you. Any more questions from your side?
Sir, one more question for me. Sir, where I get data related to IoT data security?
Pardon, I'm not able to understand what you want to ask.
So my research area is IoT data security. So I wish to learn more related to that, my research.
So you explore the attack on SQL Lite, the Lite databases, because IoT uses the Lite systems, okay? So SQL Lite is the databases which are used with the IoT with the limited indexing techniques, okay? And minimum indexing techniques are used to consume your power, okay? So you can explore the SQL Lite, security in the SQL Lite, okay?